When I first reorganized my office and created that video, I was so excited about all the improvements and all the time I was going to save on my process. And it really did save a bunch of my time. But I learned a couple of things using that new process. The first thing is, when you remove waste from a process, lots of other waste appears. And that waste was covered over by the other waste. You never noticed it before, but now it's super obvious. The other thing is, our processes change over time. The things that we need to do change. The ways that we use the tools and resources in our work areas change. So we've got to be flexible, and we have to continually be improving our processes and continually changing our processes to keep up with our needs. So one part of my process that has been driving me crazy over the past several weeks is the process for getting my notes together for a class. It seems pretty simple, and it really should be, but I had noticed that there's a lot of waste involved in it. It involves finding my notes, putting them in the bag, and then when I get back from class, taking them out of my bag and filing them away so that I can find them again. Pretty simple, but there's a lot of waste and a lot of room for improvement there. I've noticed the waste, and I am ready to make the change. Let's take a look at what that process currently looks like.
So you'll notice my first step of the process is to unlock and open up that cabinet. Why is it that if we have cabinets that are in our work areas that lock, that we feel compelled to use them? I'm thinking about taking that door right on off of that cabinet, just leave it open all the time. But this is the process for me to go to class and get those notes into my bag. And so now you're going to see me pretend like I'm coming back from class, and now I have to get those notes back into the notebook after class. You can see a lot of waste of transportation and motion and over-processing as I flip through that notebook trying to get the pages in just the right spot. I did this simulated activity several times, and my average time was 1 minute and 53 seconds. With all the classes that I teach each year, that's a minimum of 3.5 hours every year that I waste shuffling paper around my office.
I'll be honest, I've been avoiding changing this part of my process. I think this is pretty common for a lot of people, and something that we need to learn as lean practitioners is when we see things in our process that need to be improved, just jump in and go ahead and start improving it. My perception has been regarding this process that I realize there's a need to change, but then I think to myself, this is going to be really hard, this is going to be difficult, this is going to take me a long time. And I wonder to myself, how much time am I really going to save by going through the trouble of making this change in my process? I kind of like things the way they are, but now I'm ready to make the change. So let's watch the improvement.
The biggest change that I needed to make was to move those notebooks out of the cabinet down onto the desktop. And then I'm going to just keep those notebooks open, and I'm also going to keep the cabinet open and unlocked all the time. The other thing that I did was move all of the useful items in my office closer to the main work area to help facilitate my other workflow. That should help to save some time as well. Then I used 5S and visual management to lock all of those changes into place.
Wow, that was super easy. It only took me about 45 minutes to make all the changes that you saw there in the sped up video. I was very detailed in the way that I reorganized my workspace. It wouldn't have taken that long just to put the notebooks down on the table, but I wanted to make sure that the other parts of my process were going to be improved as well. So this improvement just cost me 45 minutes of my time. No expense at all, and in that process I saved over 3 hours a year just getting my notes and putting them in my bag and putting them away. I'm estimating conservatively that just reorganizing the things that I reorganized are going to save me easily 4 hours a year in my process, just wasted time that I was wasting every year. And now I'm sure that new wastes are going to appear in my process, but this time I'm not going to wait so long to make the improvements.